Get empty. The overflow starts with letting go. There's something sacred about letting go, about pouring out everything that doesn't serve your next season. That was the heart of Dr. GreGory's message, Get Empty for More. Not because you're lacking, but because God is ready to fill you again, and not just with anything, but with power, purpose, and protection. Built on the rock. Jesus promised in Matthew 16:18, "Upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." This reminded us that God has already spoken both your protection and your victory. You're not being built on sand. You're being built on a rock, on the word, on faith, on power. And that building process might not always feel good, but it's making you strong. It may not feel good when it's being built, Pastor said, but the gates of hell shall not prevail. Let that settle in your spirit. What you're facing can't override what you're built on. You are already equipped. We're often waiting on a new message or a fresh word, but Dr. GreGory says something bold. You don't always need a message, but if you'll just take the jot and the tittle, the word is already quick and powerful. In other words, you already have what you need. You've been equipped with the living word, a weapon sharper than a two-edged sword. Your prayers draw blood in the spirit. Your worship shifts things. Your obedience breaks chains. Jesus be a fence. In a moment of joyful declaration, the congregation was reminded of an old school prayer, "Jesus be a fence all around me." But this wasn't just nostalgia, it was a prophetic call to close the gates of defeat and open the gates to success. God is not only protecting what's His, He's positioning you for increase. That's why you need to be empty. Not empty in despair, but empty on purpose, so He can fill you with new assignments, new resources, and new victories. Your praise is a weapon. The atmosphere shifted when Dr. GreGory declared healing and danced in defiance of the enemy's attacks. I come to dance over cancer. I come to dance over anger. You cannot have the saints. I command you to dry up. It wasn't just emotion, it was spiritual warfare. And it reminded us that praise is a prophetic act. When we praise, we aren't ignoring reality. We're inviting heaven to intervene. We're saying, "Lord, pour it out. Pour it out, Lord. Open the windows of heaven and pour and pour and pour." It was a heavenly command. The people cried out, "Pour it out." And not just into their bank accounts or calendars, but into their spiritual lives, into the dry places, into the silent prayers, into the situations where only God can move. That kind of faith doesn't ask small. It gets empty so God can be lavish, abundant, and overflowing. Take authority and take up space. Dr. GreGory didn't end quietly. He declared war against the enemy's grip. I command you, Satan, in the name of the Lord, to take up your weapons and flee. And the church responded with power. This isn't the season to shrink back. It's the season to walk in authority, to clean house spiritually, to put on righteousness and say boldly, "Upon this rock I'm being built, and the gates of hell shall not prevail." Get empty to be ready. Getting empty isn't weakness, it's readiness. It's God saying, "I've got more to pour, but I need you to release what's taking up space." What do you need to pour out this week? Grief, control, fear, comfort? Whatever it is, let it go, because God is ready to pour.